Alright, excellent. Looks like we're back. So, I am Corporal Stephen Vuko. I've been out of the Marine Corps for 25 years, but I am hoping to eventually write a book. It's getting a little late now, so I'm not going to do sketch art. I was going to go ahead and do a little cover. The idea that I had for the book is I'm going to get to the Dr. A email. I'll better double check, make sure I edit that out. Oh man. So, yeah, it's all true though. So, and it's just my opinion. And my Twitter page does say mentally crippled. So, okay. Oh, stay focused. So talking about the VA is extremely difficult because it's so aggravating, the things I've been through. And oh yeah, the whole book cover thing. I'll just finish that thing real quick. So my idea is basically going to be, I'm going to have you've probably seen the boot camp photo with the Marine with the hat. So I'm going to have half like that, where I'll have the hat, other than half with me, other than you know, our sayings, once a Marine, always a Marine. So then over the top I'll say once, then since I have the original Marine half, that's a Marine, then underneath the whole thing it's going to say always, other than right now the me. So once a Marine, always a Marine, but it really just says Corporal Vuko, once, always, 2 photos. Yeah, I'm an electrical engineer. So, or I was an electrical engineer. So let's see, so Dr. Ali. So I wrote him the email, let him know how I felt. And I did think he's a good doctor. It's just, there wasn't enough initiative there where if you're seeing a guy for a year complaining about this golf or illness thing, you expect him to learn about it. You know what? No, he wasn't a good doctor. He'd be a good normal place doctor because he was really thorough with, here's everything else. He checked me for everything else in the world that could possibly cause the golf or illness type symptoms. So everything from get a CPAP machine, yeah, 145 pounds CPAP, amazing. No, it's probably 165 then, but all right, vitamin E. Everybody in North America is low vitamin E, so low vitamin E. So got me in vitamin E supplements, and kind of did all these things and just nothing, never ever kind of inkle towards that. And at the very end, it was like I was seeing him for maybe 13 months, and we're talking about this, and I'm getting frustrated with him, and he's like, well, Steve, no one has diagnosed you with golf or illness. And I was just like, you know what? After all that time, I'm just like, I'm getting absolutely nowhere with this guy. Congress passed a law that said that this whole thing's presumptive, and at this point, I'm just like, I started realizing I'm fighting the same thing that the guys who first got sick with the golf or illness with 20 years ago. Yeah, he said, I was like, never again hashtags. Maybe I'll figure out a way to post that on here. But anyways, so Dr. Lee, so in the end, so the last thing I wrote to him, I said, please never tell another veteran thank you for your service when your actions say fuck you for your service. And still mean that, still sincere. Then, oh my God, this is so horrible, because then the nurse that I worked with there, really nice, really knowledgeable, she actually got me on the right path to get started with compensation and pension early on. But her reply to me, and I just opened this up tonight, I can't make this stuff up. This kind of stuff really happens to me all the time. So her name, I'm gonna call her Nurse D. So, oh my God. So she replies to me, Mr. Vuko, no provider at the VA clinic is able to diagnose or definitively say you have golf or illness. Wrong. Only a compensation and pension evaluating partner is able to determine if you're more than likely or less than likely experiencing symptoms associated with golf or illness. Now that's partially true, except the compensation pension doctors, they don't know anything about golf or illness either. So when they see those things, they won't check it because they don't know what the words mean. So she was partially true there. And then she said, Dr. Ali is a primary healthcare provider, but not a specialty healthcare provider. The thing that really, and I'm pretty sure I have it out in a tweet somewhere, but in case you don't know, the thing that happened recently, and the reason I got my golf or illness syndrome, my golf or illness syndrome diagnosis, sorry, they just changed the phrase back to golf or syndrome. So, and yeah, I'm a little more medicated now. If you're wondering if I was medicated before, I was. I kind of implied I wasn't, just because I'm kind of hoping when I go through this thing to kind of try and develop some paradigm shifts, get you to think a little bit, not just, there's that homeless dude in front of a flag. It's like, does that kind of stuff really happen? Ah, it's happening. And some of the crazy stuff that happened before, I could write a book just out of Freedom Wagon. I think I told you about I don't know if I told you guys about the security device. In order to start the Freedom Wagon, you needed a Diet Coke can. I'll get to that in a book, maybe a story early on. The other thing is, you know, Marines were responsible. No drinking and driving. The Freedom Wagon, it slept 4 Marines. You know, get a little cuddly. Don't ask, don't tell. That was before that was right about when Don't Ask, Don't Tell. In my book, plenty of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, Rodney King, all that kind of friction. It'll be good. My best friend in boot camp, Marine Combat Training School of Infantry, Leroy. Leroy, if you see this, come holler at me. I was never able to hang out with Leroy afterwards. Well, partially because he went to Cuba, I went to Japan. But, you know, he told me one time, he's like, you know, we're cool and everything. And I'm like, yeah, what I come by, you know, check out your folks and everything. He's like, you know, I stay with my grandma, and it's nothing personal. He's like, I like you, but most of the people in my family, they really don't like white people. I'm like, oh, that's cool, man, I understand. And I'm like, years later, I'm like, I didn't understand. But anyways, I love Leroy. Man, some of the stories that come out of there. And shit, for all I know, you could be like a sergeant major or something now. Anyways, Leroy, if you see this, let me know. So let's see. Oh, so Denise. Oh, so anyways, so the director of Hines Hospital, I asked him, I said, I've been struggling with this for a really long time. I said, I only want to know just this one question. What type of doctor gives this diagnosis? And his reply was, any primary care doctor can give this diagnosis. And she said, Dr. Ali is a primary care provider, not a specialty provider. He's the one, I mean, in my email to him, I said, you're the one who was supposed to do this. And after a year, he never figured it out. Oh my God. And right now, that's happening to somebody else. Share my story, people, please. Save the next guy. Maybe they could stop it before he ends up like me. So who's your veteran service officer? And it's just, you know, please call them, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, Denise, you're Nurse D, you're making my point. I'm complaining that you guys don't know anything about golf or illness, and then you just give me the wrong information, which shows that they didn't train you on this stuff. And all you guys should be trained. Anyways, okay. I know I need to build like 4,000, get like 4,000 hours of video and 1,000 subscribers before I start getting money. Because yeah, guess what? The VA, I've got 70% disability, so I'm getting like $1,300 a month now. And the last doctor I saw said, hey, we think your symptoms are doing well. Well, yeah, I'm using medical marijuana. But so she's going to put, she said, I can't say you're disabled. I'm going to give you a 0 disability rating. Then I'm like, oh, okay, so great. So I told her, I just want you to be open and honest and give me the real most diagnosis that you can. And she told me this stuff. And then I told her about the whole medical marijuana thing. And then, what was the next thing that came out? Anyways, I told her, I said, oh, look, I really want you to be open and honest. And I said, but you understand that the parts that you're wrong with, that you write down here, I just want you to know I'm going to use it to crucify you. But I'm just being open and honest. It's like, I thought she knew more about, you know, she knew more about cannabis than most any other doctor that I met in the VA. She actually knew that your own body produces cannabinoids, that there's an endocannabinoid system, where most of the other doctors are just completely clueless. But the thing that I was really struggling with was, you know, I have the diagnosis for PTSD, I have a disability rating, I got a medical marijuana card specifically to treat my PTSD. I use the marijuana to treat my PTSD. And then she says, well, you're not symptomatic. Think about it. Yes, I'm going to use the words you write down to try and give you the paradigm shift to save the next guy. Woo! I thought I was over-medicated enough, but yeah, my VA stories, I could write hours, but I'm not going to. I just want enough to get the story out. I really just want to talk about those happy times like with the Freedom Wagon. Oh my God. Jumping out of airplanes. I started, and I gotta go back and look up the actual news reports, but I think I started like one of the biggest brawls ever on an army base. I wasn't even there. Yeah, I can't make this up, but it happened. Good times, good times. See, as soon as I stop talking about the VA, I start getting less upset. So, let's see, who else? There are more replies here. I just opened it tonight. There are more replies that I haven't looked at. Here's one from my first neurologist. Now, this guy, he seems really sharp. It seemed like he did his due diligence, but at the end, he just kind of implied that, he's like, I got your neuropsych exam. He's like, it says here you're not really disabled. I'm like, well, the person that gave it to me said she saw like minor dementia, and he's like, nope, didn't write anything down here. He's like, looks like you're good. And I'm just like, whoo, just like that. But so then, I went out and I asked him, I go, hey, Dr. G, let me ask you something. I go, how long before I could get my next MRI? He's like, I'll let you have one in 5 years. I was like, okay. I was done with him. Went to talk to my new primary care, Dr. S, who's really a hero in the book. And I said, hey, I don't trust, this previous diagnosis, and it's been like over a year and a half. I go, can I get another MRI? And he's like, he kind of thought about it for a while, and I kind of explained how the symptoms change, and he's like, all right, we'll do it. So now I've got 2 MRIs, and so the first MRI said, like they said, oh, they said, have you ever been in a fight? I'm like, I was in the Marines. I've been in a ton of fights. A lot of them would be in a book. Some of them would be brutal, but you won't feel it as much as I did. And in the end, there's a good moral to the story, I hope. A lot of you would probably just be like, man, that guy's a dumbass. Oh, and I'm jumping from tangent to tangent to tangent. So yeah, some people are going to say, oh, it's because he's over-medicated. Now my brain always does this. Before when I was talking before, I think I was just medicated perfectly, and I kind of pushed past. But I'm going to do a whole 90 minutes in cannabis later, and for those, I am going to do like little checkbox things. So yeah, guess what, adults? I did learn a lot about cannabis too. I'm even going to like get into stuff. Oh man, I'm jumping from tangent to tangent. I'm even going to get into something later. I'm just going to do a whole like 5-minute thing on the sinusoidal resonance. What's the sinusoidal resonance of the harmonic flux? And that's the reason that we couldn't automate this transfer. It's the sinusoidal resonance of the harmonic flux. It's a real word. And after like 5 minutes, you'll be able to like say this to other people and be like, damn, he or she knows what she's talking about. After that, I'll just think, you've been listening to that homeless dude high on that YouTube thing complaining about the VA. Man, that dude need a haircut and shower. Anyways, okay. Stay focused. Okay, so that's what it is. So this is just avoidance behavior because I don't want to talk about the VA anymore. They're fucking horrible. So bad. And man, when that dude at the top, here's some of the things that they're busy. I don't want to get their attention yet. They're busy. They're like bombing Syria now. And you get to hear about, the armchair quarterback, and I would have done it this way. Like, the dude used chemical weapons on people. Everybody, or like every dictator who's used chemical weapons in like the past century, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that every single one of them either died at the hands of the 2 superpowers, the United States or Russia. So now it's like, well, maybe Putin's going to be buddy-buddy with this guy or something. I don't know what's going on with that whole thing. I can't really follow with the Gulf illness. But I'm thinking, if we don't hit him with one of our missiles, and, things kind of die down in Syria, I'm pretty sure that Putin's going to, take him over for a little state visit, and he's going to be like, you know what? If I don't kill you, that's kind of like saying we're not a superpower anymore, because for the past 100 years, everyone who's gassed their people, and because what happens when you gas people? You don't just kill the enemy combatants. Sarin gas doesn't care if you're a woman, a child, if you're pregnant, if you're disabled, if you're a pothead. Kids don't smoke your grandpa's medication. Anyways, yeah, but that dude, I don't know, bye-bye. Fuck. Anyways, oh man, from VA to war. That's a little PTSD kind of thing. Usually, people who fight in wars tend to follow them. But, like the war movies, all these people talk, oh man, Saving Private Ryan is such a great movie. Yeah, So, all right, let's keep it cheery so you get an audience. Later I'll do some more gunny stories, just because And if you're in the infantry, your company gunnery sergeant, he's kind of like a father figure to you. It's like when you or one of your troops screws up, what he does is, it's kind of like if they screw up and, you know, the officer's going to have their meeting, you know, their nightly meeting, morning meeting, and they'll sit there and they'll be like, man, this person, he really screwed up. I want to make an example out of him for the company. And, you know, once there's blood in the water, you know, the next captain's going to jump in and he's like, man, I want to make an example of him for the entire Camp Pendleton. Then, you know, then somebody else is going to jump in and be like, oh, I want to make an example of him for the whole Marine Corps. And they come in and they're going to be ready to dish out the orders. And the only person that stands in your way is that company gunny. So he's the one he's going to, like, kind of temper things, keep things cool between the O's and the E's. So you always take care of your company gunny. And so I'll get into the story about company gunny and hot dogs, and that'll be a good one. But all of them are. I think in case you didn't see the earlier one, there's one time I'm just cruising my Humvee with Gunny, just kind of cruising around. We're talking about like the buffalo and stuff, and I'm like, hey Gunny, what do you think like the buffalo are doing right now? And he sits there, he like thinks about it, and he's like, I don't know, Corporal Fuco, probably fucking. Oh my God, I was just tearing up. You know, you don't have a radio in a Humvee, you just BS, and we're cruising along, and a few minutes later, we just sit there, you just kind of mellow, you're out in like wilderness, and you kind of get used to the roll of the Humvee tires. It's relaxing in, I guess, kind of macho sense. But yeah, it's relaxing. A little while later, we're sitting there cruising, and then you hear a noise like this, like ping, 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 ping. If you've been through a war, you know the sound of bullets. All of a sudden, you start seeing tracer rounds come right over Humvee. We're in the back of a firing range during a live fire exercise, and it's like after midnight. And yeah, I'm gonna have to tell you the story later because I do want to have a book deal, and if I give all the spoilers now, especially, you know, some of these stories are really good. But okay, so I'm chatting too much, and I really just gotta. I know I need to vent the VA stuff to get it off, otherwise I'm going to burn up inside, but I just don't want to talk about it. Kind of like every time you go to a VA to talk about PTSD, it's like, they ask you about all that stuff, it's like, you know, I really don't want to talk about this, especially to like the third year resident in 3 years. It really gets old. Seriously, guys, just, you know, maybe the first 2 years you're the third year resident, then give them some permanent. I don't know. I understand, you know, Medicaid reimbursement rates. Done with VA for now. Yeah, you never know. I've got my indica. So, Popeye had a spinach. Corporal Vuko came back to life with indica. So, Godspeed all. I am going to maybe try and paint, see if I could get a little something started.